welcome back, Louise West. Today we're going to pick up the journey coming out of COVID and what happened next.
I was approached by Victoria Brown, who's a friend who I've known for many years, about a project she was planning with funding from the Arts Council to put on an exhibition at the Erewash Museum in Ilkeston. And we were to use the lace archives there from the Nottingham lace industry for inspiration for contemporary work for the exhibition. 5 of us were involved with the project, and we went on to study the archives and use them for all the design work. And it wasn't, I was the only lace maker, apart from Victoria dabbling in it a little bit for her paintings, but we had a photographer, an illustrator, and one that does architectural buildings, industrial paintings as well. And Victoria painted the large scale portraits of lace, very large scale, with a lot of gold and that sort of thing in them. We produced work over a 10-week period. I designed 11 pieces and made 11 pieces for the exhibition, and that went in exhibition in Erewash Museum. As a result of that, so many people, so many lace makers through local contacts came to the exhibition, came to the opening and said, can we have the patterns? So that led to book 3, and the book 3 was the Heritage Lace Designs, published relatively recently, a couple of years after the exhibition, and that's continued to sell. And I've taught classes from that as well, through the online classes in California, and it continues to sell patterns and inspires people. And of course you did some of the research for one of the makers of the Nottingham lace industry, Frank Woodward. Was a fascinating character. You contributed to the book of that as well. Yeah,
you found a name that wasn't in what we call the Bible for obviously the
Nottingham lace industry.
Nottingham lace industry, yes. And his name wasn't mentioned in there, so potentially there was some research. So I'll give you some background on him. They were the Becks of Nottingham at one point, famously. But the business is in partner's name, so he wasn't the front man, but he was the money behind it.
That was quite an interesting part of it, and the story is all told through in the book as well. Which is, it gives quite a variety in the book, from contemporary designs, from historical researchers. Talks about the design process as well,
and it gives you the insight into the design element as well, so you can see different elements in his patterns that were slightly different to other ones, so it's a fascinating insight.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that's good. So we now move on to, what are you teaching lately? IOLI in 2024?
Yes, last year in 2024 I went out to Nashville for the first time and taught for the International Organisation of Lace, Inc., who are based in the States but have international members, and then I went on the board. I'm now the European Regional Director for them, so I'm the contact point for anybody in the UK, Europe, and actually South Africa as well has been put under my umbrella, and anybody who wants information about those, I can fill them in on that. I went out there to teach. I taught a morning class, an afternoon class and a design class, and I'm doing the same again this year in Texas, Dallas, Texas. So again, looking forward to that. Always meet such a fantastic group of people, and they're always so thirsty for knowledge. They really do use you as a teacher and value you as a teacher, taking all the information they can get out of you. And I've produced new designs. There's 5 new designs going out to Dallas this year. Plus the competition entry. Have to contribute to the competition, and that'll be a great experience. Another week in the US.
Yeah, and your favourite bit, the teaching.
Favourite bit's the swimming pool.
Right, the swimming pool.
We have great fun in the swimming pool.
Yes. Some of your designs are actually inspired by the swimming, aren't they? So
some of the
charity ones. So you've got the mermaid and the splashing ones.
They were all for the Swimathon charities. I designed one each year, and the first one was quite strange because I was swimming, doing some training, and I was watching the patterns of the light on the bottom of the pool, along with the patterning on the glass of the swimming pool. Very much in the vein of David Hockney's Moving Water, where you get the patterns from the sun on the water. and that inspired the first bookmark pattern in 2020.
Yeah.
And the designing went from there. And quite often when I'm swimming and doing things like that, or in the garden, get inspiration from both of those.
Yeah.
But the swimming quite often comes through when I'm actually swimming.
Yeah.
And you know, comments to made that, I mean, there's a comment about a mermaid and how I was swimming at the time, and that sparked an idea off from something quite random.
Yes.
And it became a design. So you never know. If you make
never
a
know.
comment to me, I had a class recently before Easter, and one of the moderator actually said to me, I'd like a pattern with this technique in. And that was the Wednesday evening. By Friday I'd designed it. By the following Wednesday it was on sale. Now it doesn't normally happen quite that fast, but it was just a snowball event again. You know, being open to the suggestions, looking for a technique and where I can include them in the design. And that became this year's Easter egg pattern.
Yes.
Just by someone making a comment about a half-stitch bud with a bead on top, and it grew.
Yeah.
Like Topsy.
Yes.
And a lot of the things like that do snowball with me. Just being open and using, you know, using your imagination. And so many people say to me, where on earth where do you find this inspiration? But you can be walking around a shopping centre and see just a pattern on something, and it sparks off an idea. You know, a little flower growing at the roadside, and that looks a lovely one, and will make a nice design and go to.
Yeah. I like
and off you go.
Walking around National Trust, you know, old houses, and you see like the designs in the patterns or the woodwork or that kind of like.
I have one at the moment that I've seen somewhere, a carved panel that I would like to translate into a design. Again, I've got more designs in my head than I ever know what to do with.
No.
So whenever I start designing, there's always something there.
Different,
I'm never stuck for inspiration. And the more you do, the more inspiration you get. It never runs out.
Yeah, that's good. Coming back to Ilkeston, you've got another connection with Ilkeston now, haven't you?
Yes, I've recently moved to Ilkeston. I've moved to the Area Wash Partnership building, which is in the old police station, and I've moved into an office there recently. Nice little office, very friendly bunch of people, and that's my home for the business now for the foreseeable future.
Got a lovely conference centre with all that glass down the side.
Yes, the conference room is lovely.
Lovely for
I can take up, if I had 20, I could take up to 20 in that room. But generally the classes are much smaller. I generally take 5 in a class at that building, and keep them in the studio because all my resources are to hand.
Yeah.
And it makes it much easier. Plus the fact if you get beginners, you get very detailed and you know, concentrated, focused teaching, and you learn a lot more with that help. So I do open the classes up to bigger numbers. My August weekends usually more. But for the one-day workshops, I keep them small at the class.
It's quite handy being there as well. You're like 2 minutes away from a nice coffee shop. Who do you take out?
Having good refreshments is a must for later, and especially cakes.
yes, exactly. So, any personal goals you want to tell me about?
Personal goals? I don't know. Move house this year.
This
year, at Christmas last year, I said I wanted to move house, move the business, and spend next Christmas in the sun. Well, I moved the business, not when I intended to move, but that's another story. And I'm in the process of hopefully moving house, and then I've got to plan my Christmas holiday. But who knows where that will be. I'd just like to have a nice, warm, relaxing Christmas somewhere in the sun, just because it's been a very busy, stressful year.
So, on the last thing, if you were wanting to come into bobbin lace making, where would you start? Where would you point people to initially start?
Initially, I would suggest that they did a one-day workshop because I have beginners come in for a day. I have all the equipment, all the materials, and they use them for the day without any extra outlay. You just pay for the day's class. And at the end of a 6-hour class, you know whether it's something you want to take up and pursue, or just walk away. But you end up with a basic knowledge of the 2 stitches, of some of the combinations of stitches, and you go home with a finished bookmark. So you've achieved something, no matter how little you feel you know, you do learn an awful lot in a day. And you get through a lot more in a day than a couple of evening classes. because it's stop and starting on an evening class.
Mm-hmm.
So a day gives you a good taste at it. There are some local classes coming up. I'm doing one at a local church in Morley next month, I think it is, July. It might not be next month by the time I put this video up. And I have classes, one-day workshops throughout the summer and beyond. I usually do one a month of those. Come along, try the skills. If it's not for you, then there's no hard feelings, but you haven't spent any more than the cost of the day's workshop. And see me demonstrating at other places, and come and sit down and have a go on the pillow.
You have your weekly classes in your studio, but that's for people who live within driving distance.
Yes, it is.
So,
Yes. And I do have a 2-day course in August as well, where if anybody wants to come for the weekend, I have 2 days at it, which is great fun. That's usually a longer day as well. Normally my Saturdays are 6-hour classes, and that's a 7-hour class. Because people are travelling for it, so I do make it a little bit longer. We go out usually for a Saturday evening meal if you want locally, and experience the local pubs.
Right, I don't think there's anything else for the moment, but if you'd like to ask questions, tag them below.
And subscribe so you hear the notifications when they're answered. And it's been great fun doing these videos. I hope everybody joins in. And let me know what else you want to see on YouTube. Hopefully you know me a little bit better now when you come and say hello to me. You'll feel you know me, even if I don't know you. Please explain where you know me from, and I'll welcome you like a long lost friend. Thanks for watching.